Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahavidyangkaravavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishabhai. Om Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. There are a few questions we have. Finish this and then we can proceed with the text. In chapter 9, page 156, Vedanta Treatise, there is a diagram of the consciousness, the microcosm and macrocosm forming the world. I understand the consciousness functioning through the individual and the microcosm. Please explain the macrocosm, especially the Hiranyagarbha. To understand the consciousness functioning in the individual, why do you have to worry about what's happening outside? Not need at all. Over, just joking. Okay. Now, what the diagram explains is, in understanding the human composition, there are very many angles. He's explaining that from different angles. In that, one of the way we understand is through this is one, is how the pure consciousness, he gives the example of colorless light. The colorless light seen through the prism creates, we call it colors. So various colors come out of the colorless light because of the prism. Similarly, because of the equipments, the consciousness is perceived through the equipments. We are getting three different personalities in an individual. What are they? When the consciousness functions through the gross body, it is the waker. The consciousness functioning through the subtle body becomes the dreamer. The consciousness functioning through the causal body is a deep sleeper. Vishwa, Tejasa, and Prajna. These are the three things he says. Now, extending the same, at any given point of time, we see not only my gross body, I see others' gross body as well. Isn't it? Around me, when I see there are a lot of people I interact with. So every one of them have their own gross body. Right? So what they say is, when you aggregate all those gross bodies put together, there should be aggregate of the waker also, no? Sum total. If there is only one prism, you get one Vivekaric colors. If there are 5 prisms, 35 colors you will get. Listen, you will not get 7. Suddenly you will see there are 35. How that 35 came? The 35 came because of the 5. However, at any point of time, you are going to be focusing only on one color. You are just that one color. But along with you, there are 34 colors. So, how do you account that 34 colors existence? Is The same principle. What is the principle? When that consciousness that is functioning through my gross body, I am a waker. When the consciousness is functioning through my wife's gross body, wife waker. Consciousness functioning through a daughter's gross body, daughter waker. Now what we do is, Ishwaran is standing one side. The world is the other side. So I am the waker who is seeing many wakers, which is I interact with a lot of wakers whom I don't interact with. For example, with reference to your neighbors, I have no interaction with them. They don't have any interaction with me. But they are there, no? Right now. A neighbor making noise, right? Cooking something, walking, something they keep doing. You see, so they do exist. But I am not interacting with them. Does it mean they are not there? No, they are also there. So what do we do? How do we account all that? He said, collect all those people and give them a personality. That doesn't mean there is one big waker. Ishwaran has 2 hands. So cosmic waker should be having how much? He must be having 20,000 hands. 40,000 hands. 2 billion, 2 million hands. Feet. All this. This is more of a visualization idea. Don't try to actualize it, please. You can't actually see. It is only a visualization, stretching our capacity to accommodate and understand it is the same thing happening to everyone. As it is happening to me, the same is happening to others also. Others means world, the whole thing put together. So world study means you plus world. You, anything other than you is equal to world. So you have a gross body, you have a subtle body, you have a causal body. Similarly, in the world also there should be world gross body, world subtle body, world causal body. Total. This is what is referred as total. Total gross body, total subtle body, total causal body. Right. Now, can you pull yourself out of that? No, you are also part of that only. Exactly like the dreamer is part of the dream. Isn't it? You cannot extract the dreamer out of the dream world. No. Dreamer is very much part of the dream world. But for all analysis, what do we say? We say dreamer and the dream world. The dreamer is different from the dream tiger. You can't say the dream tiger is also dreamer only. Then he is not in the dream. He has woken up. Then he is a waker. See, for analytical purpose, we understand I am world. If I have 3, similarly, the world also has 3. Cosmic waker, cosmic dreamer, cosmic deep sleeper. That cosmic waker is referred as Virat Purusha, and cosmic dreamer is referred as Hiranyagarbha, and cosmic deep sleeper is called as Ishvara. That's all. These are the 3 words. Just an aggregate, total. Why? Because we do see. It's not only I am carrying gross body. If there is a gross body, there must be subtle body, because without a subtle body, gross body not possible. Without a causal body, neither subtle body nor gross body possible. And I do see people around me, things around me having gross body. Therefore, we conclude there must be subtle body backing that, and there must be causal body backing it. So sum total of all gross bodies put together is equal to 1. Sum total of all subtle body is this. Sum total of all this is this. Bertrand Russell gave one mathematical puzzle. One fellow wrote a book on treatise on mathematics and sent to Russell for forward. Before writing the forward, he said, I have one doubt. Can you solve this problem? What is the issue? There was a king. And the king in his palace had a huge library. And he called the chief librarian and said, every book should be catalogued in the library. Whatever is there in the library should be catalogued. There should not be a single paper lying there in the library which is not catalogued. Ensure that is the order of the king. Now the librarian said, yes, sir, I will do it. And he started doing it. And he made a catalog prepared. Now he got into a trouble. This catalog is a book which will be lying there in the library. Right. Now, should he add that catalog in the catalog or exclude the catalog? Because the order of the king is very clear. All the books, everything that is there should be catalogued. Can you solve it? And this is one of the puzzles, is not resolved till date, they say. I don't know whether anyone have solved it. It's paradoxical. Because how can you catalog the book? At the same time, you cannot not do it. How can you add that catalog in the catalog? Not possible. Now to add or not to add, that fellow totally got confused. Same way our confusion is. Are you not part of Virat? This Vishwa, is he not part of Virat? Who is part? Isn't it that Tejasa part of Hiranyagarbha? Yes, he is part of it. Because he can't have an independent existence. You're not standing independent of world, isn't it? You're part of the world. So which means you are part of this, you are part of that, you are part of that. But at the same time, for understanding purpose, we say segregate the two. Individual and the world. But however, when you segregate the two, you cannot actually say they are two different things. They are one. That is why we say world is equal to microcosm plus macrocosm. What is microcosm? Microcosm means individual. Macrocosm means total. Total means anything other than that individual. Understood that is. It's like a man saying, sir, yesterday night, I woke up. I was suddenly I woke up. I said, okay, I didn't get a sleep. So I came out and started taking a stroll. I just went for a walk. Nobody was there. And he says, nobody was there. Understood is what? Apart from me, nobody was there. How do you know? Nobody was there. You are there. That's why you can say nobody else was there. So which means how can you say nobody? So when he says nobody, that means what? A casual statement. It's not a strictly logical statement. Same way here, for analytical purpose, we understand. A drop of water is different from the ocean. But still, you cannot segregate the two. You cannot segregate a wave and take it out. Next time when you are coming to India, Kavita, get a bucket of wave, which I saw in Cape Town. It's a huge wave, fantastic that was. Can you bring it now? How can you bring that here? You cannot segregate water from, you cannot segregate wave from ocean. But you do see them as two different things, isn't it? There's a wave and there is ocean. Similarly, there is microcosm and macrocosm. And then they just gave names. You don't get involved with the names and all that. It's not necessary. That Virat, and then they draw also, started drawing. You know, okay, these beautiful drawings are there. Virat Purusha, drawings are there. And the Hiranyagarbha, this one, that one, and all they start. No, it's not necessary. If Prarabdha or desires that have to be experienced in this lifetime and cannot be changed, how does free will play a part in our life's experiences? Right? See, Prarabdha, we are going to see in detail, you know, in the next chapter. You know, law of causation. When we go there, I'll deal with it, you know, more in detail. You know, here, Prarabdha is the Prarabdha Vasanas. I've told you, Prarabdha Vasanas, by definition, goes through the experience and gets exhausted automatically. You see, you don't have to put in any special effort to exhaust that desire. If it is a Prarabdha desire or Prarabdha Vasana, you will go through the experience, and in that experience itself, that desire, that Vasana gets dissolved, disappears, exhausted. You don't have to do anything for that. It is automated. You know, it's like use and throw. You use it means it's over. You can't, you know, reuse, recycle, nothing possible. By nature, it is. Free will comes into picture only with reference to Sanchita Vasana. Free will has no role in Prarabdha Vasana. Right? So Prarabdha desire. Now, you know, if Prarabdha desires, when you say, I assume that you are referring to Prarabdha Vasanas, which we discussed in the context of a man of realization. Right? Thus, Prarabdha Vasanas, by definition, remember, necessitates you to experience, and in that process of experience, automatically desire gets exhausted. After that, the desire will not be there in you. You experience it, after that you will not want. Over. It's like you want to have ice cream, you have that ice cream, after that you will never get that urge to have ice cream again. Imagine something like that. Now what is happening to all of us? You also get the thought of desire to have ice cream. You go through and have ice cream, but the urge to have the next ice cream comes back. It's a question of time. That's it. For some, it will come in another 15 minutes. For some, it will come after 15 days. For some, it will come a little later. It's just a question of time, but it comes back. That force to go through that experience comes back. So that is not Prarabdha experience. Then where is the free will coming into picture, sir? Free will comes into picture only how you do with Sanchita Vasanas. Sanchita vasanas can be increased or decreased. Prarabdha vasana cannot be increased or decreased. Whatever is there, full stop. If you have Prarabdha 5, 5 is there. If you have Prarabdha 7, 7. If you have Prarabdha 7.5, 7.5. Don't ask me what is 7.5 desire. Okay. We say that is called, Prarabdha. That's all. So it is just a thing that you have to go. But please remember, whenever you are having some negative, painful experiences, immediately you will say, this is Prarabdha. You see, this is the danger. Whenever you are going through an unpalatable, undigestible experiences, immediately you will start calling that as Prarabdha vasana. Or whenever you are not wanting to work on a particular desire, you will immediately say that is Prarabdha. This is abuse. That's what he's going to explain now. Use and abuse of religion. This is abusive. Free will comes in picture, how you can increase Sanchita or decrease Sanchita. Either case, it is free will only. If you increase your Sanchita vasana also because of free will, if you decrease a Sanchita vasana also, it is because of free will. Intelligent usage of free will, unintelligent usage of free will. That's the only difference. So intelligent people use free will appropriately and decrease their Sanchita vasana. And the Prarabdha vasana can come into picture only after eliminating all Sanchita. Till that time, you would never be able to distinguish which is Prarabdha, which is Sanchita. So for all practical purpose, Prarabdha vasana's influence in your life can be registered, can be seen only post exhaustion of Sanchita vasanas. Till such time, you can never say, therefore, conveniently we take a stand. All that you are going through, all desires are Sanchita desires only. No Prarabdha desires. No Prarabdha vasana. Assume all vasanas to be Sanchita. Start working. Don't try to distinguish which is Sanchita vasana in you, which is Prarabdha vasana in you, and all that. This is the statutory warning when you are studying this Prarabdha vasana analysis. Otherwise, you will get totally lost, So there's a continuation, there's similar lines. Are we able to exhaust our Sanchita by controlling our desires through becoming aware of them? And once we are aware of them, do we let them go through spending more of our time on spiritual practices? Is that what you mean when you say Sanchita can be manipulated and can be increased or decreased? Sanchita can be increased or decreased is by definition, not because of me. The very definition of Sanchita is that. It is not that, I am giving it a name or anything. Only thing is, can you exhaust your Sanchita vasana by becoming aware of them? See, awareness by itself will not be enough to exhaust. Awareness is a necessity step. Awareness is like diagnosing. If you have not properly diagnosed, it is not possible to go through a proper course of medication and get rid of the disease. If you have not diagnosed at all, what are the chances of you to take medicine? No chance. Without diagnosing, if a person starts, that is how we do with the chemist and the drugstore. To the drugstore, we go and ask that fellow, headache is there, neck pain. What should I take? I will say, okay, take this. Gives. After 3 months, you say it's still paining here. It's everywhere is spreading. And the fellow says, I don't know what to do. Then you go to a doctor, the fellow says, well, there is a tumor. Now, for taking the proper medication for the tumor and what is to be done and all that is the course you have to take. But to take up the course, you need to be diagnosed first what the problem is, where the problem is. Similarly, if you want to take up a proper spiritual efforts, you need to diagnose. That diagnosing strength is what awareness is all about. See, now many people believe just by awareness I can resolve everything. Nothing will happen by awareness. In fact, over a period of time, you will become more and more pessimistic. If you keep on going aware of where I'm going wrong, what I'm doing wrong, if you go on thinking in terms of, in the name of becoming aware of all this, you become more pessimistic in life. See, it won't help. But at the same time, can you do away the awareness and start? That is also not possible. As I remember, spiritual effort is different. Diagnosis is different. Awareness gives you the diagnosis. That's about it. You can diagnose and find out where you stand. How can you diagnose? Is only by becoming aware, becoming conscious. What you are doing, what you are feeling, what you are thinking. Because all that is happening in human life is only 3 domains. There's nothing beyond the 3 you have in life. Action, or emotions, or thinking. Thoughts. You are entertaining thoughts. Or you are entertaining feelings. Or you are performing actions. What type of actions you are performing, you should be aware of it. The tragedy is, most of the time we are not aware of what we are doing. Forget about emotions, forget about thinking. You don't even know what the thoughts are. What thought you are entertaining, what actions you are doing. If you carefully observe, you would suddenly realize how much of contradictory actions you are performing. How much of contradictions is there in you? That is called awareness. By you becoming aware of the contradictions that you have, how sporadic, how random, how inconsistent you are in your efforts. Simple thing. Are you consistently pursuing money? No. Are you consistently pursuing God? No. Are you persistently accumulating? No. Are you consistently giving? No. You start accumulating, suddenly you feel guilty and say that I have to start giving. You start giving, suddenly you get scared. What will happen to me? Therefore, start accumulating. See, look at the contradiction. So much of contradiction, so much of inconsistency. But what are you doing, sir? So much of action going on. So much of action going on. Therefore, you think Rajas is equal to what? So much of action. I'm doing so much of action. Therefore, what I am, sir? Rajasic person. But what are you actually? Tamasic fellow. Why? all self-cancelling. One thing nullifies the other. One action neutralizes the other effort of yours. So all your efforts are self-cancelling. Therefore, where are you? Same position. What is that, sir? Tamas. Are you Rajasic or Tamasic now? This is called awareness. Awareness means you should know what you are doing, what you are acting, and you find lot of inconsistencies in your life. Therefore, as a solution, he gives a fantastic idea called standardization. That's a solution. Why should you standardize? If you're not going to be standardizing, you will be going through very many cancellation things. One side this, one side that, one side this, one side that. No, don't do all that. Keep one thing and stick to it. Fix yourself. This is the brand of pen I'm going to use. Fix it. Thereby, you don't give a chance for the mind to run in opposite direction. So your spiritual effort is what? Standardization is your effort, not awareness. And all of us are interested in awareness. Going from one diagnostic center to another diagnostic center to another diagnostic center to another diagnostic center. Rest all your lifetime you are spending your time and energy and money only on testing. Medicines you are not buying at all. You are never consulting a doctor. That is what we are doing in the name of spiritual. This, by being aware, can I go through, can I get rid of Sanchita desires, Sanchita vasanas? Not possible. You have to take to the spiritual course. That spiritual course needs to be worked. But for you to take that spiritual course appropriately, you need that awareness. You should be aware of what? Not aware of your desires. Again, we make a mistake. You should be aware. Aware of what? Aware of my desire. What all the desires I have. How many desires you can? And first of all, you don't even realize awareness and desire can never go together. See, awareness and desires will never go together. Because we never understand when you have entertained that desire. You can try. I don't know how many of you have attempted. I have attempted a lot of time. Where I had the time for me to sit and brood. Dhyayato vishayan pumsa sangastesho bhajayate sangat sanjayate kama. Dhyayata. When did I do, sir? I don't have time itself, first of all, for me to do all that. I'm so busy. Where's the time for me? But you do develop so many desires. How? When? No effort. Why no effort? You are not conscious. You are not conscious. You are not alert. You are not aware. Why? Because there is no proper spiritual effort that you put in. So that's why it's so important. Correcting. Can we, Sanchita, can we control it by becoming aware of it, sir? I'm going to become aware of my anger. Aware of my anger. Aware of my anger. Means your mind will never allow you to anger. You know why? Because the moment your mind registers one weakness of yours, you know what it will do? Instantly it will pitch up the opposite of that as a solution. And start focusing on solution, it will say. Your problem is attachment. Solution is what? Detachment. Should you pay attention to problem or should you pay attention to solution? Where should you pay attention? Solution. So what you should do? How to be detached? Who are the people practice detachment? What all they did? What is the principle of detachment? Blah, 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 blah. Am I being detached? Am I being detached? When should I get detached? What should I do to get detached? The whole thing will get hijacked to the opposite. It will never allow you to pay attention to attachment. That's why you go to a master, you will never come back satisfied. If you come back satisfied, means you didn't inquire, you didn't understand what he's speaking. Because if you go to a master, you say, I want knowledge. I want detachment. What he will do? He will go on explaining how ignorant are you? How attached are you? He will go on explaining about attachment. More and more and more and more and more he will talk about attachment. And you come out thinking what? He didn't even understand my problem. He is not able to connect. Because of what? And the person who is talking about knowledge, the person talking about detachment would be appealing to you. Because the moment you get a little awareness that I am greedy, instantly the mind will do what? Will never allow you to stay there. It will instantly jump to what is opposite of being greedy. So miserly I am. The moment instantly it will go into where all I can do charity. What all I can do. How can I prove? How can I establish myself to be a giver? How philanthropic I am. How that. It will start focusing on that. By conveniently diverting your attention from this to that. And it will project, the problem is this, solution is that. Now, should you focus on problem or solution? Of course, solution. Therefore, what you should do? Therefore, what should be the spiritual effort of yours? How to be detached? How to gain knowledge? How to be charitable? How to do this? How to do that? How to get out? You can never stay with anger. You never analyze anger. You can never do that. Because that awareness that you carry right now doesn't have that strength. The moment you come there, immediately it will go to, okay, now I'm able to exhaust that desire. That's what you are saying. You see, immediately jump to solution. But Vedanta says, the master will say what? No, stay with solution, problem. You want detachment, he talks about attachment. You come out thinking what? This man doesn't know anything. He doesn't know spiritual. Maybe he doesn't know. You think maybe he doesn't know the technique of detachment. There are people who teach us the technique, how to handle anger. This man doesn't know how to handle anger. Because he's not going to give you how to be angerless. How to be angerless is what you wanted. Why you registered that you are getting angry. And you think that registration is equal to awareness. That's not awareness. Because you have a very, this is what the problem in Vedanta, this subject. Every word counts. Every word the possibility of misunderstanding is there. So be careful. But awareness itself is not going to. You have to take to a proper spiritual course. But then, do you mean to say, sir, awareness has no role to play at all? No, it has a vital role to play. What is the role? What is the role of diagnosis in treating your ailments? The patient will never come for the disease. He comes to the side effects of the disease. He doesn't suffer from the disease. He suffers from the side effects, the effect of the disease. What is it? Pain. There is a tumor, there is a pain. He goes through the pain only. He doesn't know tumor and all that. Therefore, awareness should be of what? You can't say, I should be aware of tumor. That is not your awareness. Your awareness should show only what? I am having pain. Recognizing, registering the pain is what? Awareness, alertness from the part of the patient. But when the doctor comes, his awareness and alertness is what? He will not care about the pain. The doctor will say, well, what to do? Pain is there? Yeah, suffer. Physiotherapist, after your surgery, physiotherapist will come and he will say, stretch. You scream with pain. He says what? Doesn't matter. Stretch. No, he doesn't care. Why? You have a problem. You go to him for solution, not for tumor. You go for solution for the pain. Now, your awareness will not help you. After that, there has to be a diagnosis, and then there has to be a medication prescribed. Then you have to take that medication. Then what will happen? The tumor will go away. As the tumor goes away, the pain also goes away. You don't care. Suppose there is a tumor, there is no pain at all. Will you go for surgery? Let it be. I have seen my, one of our relative. He had a big lump on his shoulder, huge one was there. They said, it's not paining me, it's not doing anything, it's just there. Let it be there, no? What is the problem there? He doesn't care about it, so long as it is not giving pain. Similarly, you may have an attachment, you may have anger, you may have things in you, but it's not causing any pain to you, means what you will do? Well, attachment is good, sir. Anger is good. Being greedy is good. Why? Being greedy has not produced any pain to you. It has produced something which you can, something agreeable to you. So per se, you don't have any problem with tumors. You have problem only with pain. So the awareness that you can have is not of the desires. Awareness of a student is the pain of samsara. He doesn't go through. He doesn't have a problem. If you say desire is causing the problem, he will say get rid of the desire. If you tell him ego is a problem, he will get rid of that ego. If you tell him ignorance is a problem, he will get rid of that ignorance. He doesn't care whether this word, that word, this or that. I don't want pain. Tell me, what should I do to get rid of the pain? Anything you say is cause of the pain, he is willing to do it. This awareness is a critical one, remember. But what a student should be aware of is different from what the teacher is aware of. And when you carry that awareness, your awareness should come into picture where in recognizing the contradictions that you carry in life. Isn't it? You have that registration. How much of contradictions are there in your beliefs? How much of contradictions you have in your emotions? How much of contradictions are there in your action? This is next layer of awareness. How much ever you intensify that awareness also, that will work only as a diagnosis. That's all. That is the difference between the doctor and the patient. Patient's awareness is only to the level of recognizing the pain. Doctor's awareness, diagnosis is only, diagnostic center will give you only where the problem is, what the problem is. The course of medication is totally different. See, it's got nothing to do with this, both. But you can't decipher a proper course of medication unless you get the diagnosis done properly. So, awareness has two levels. First level of awareness is becoming conscious of the pain and your ability to stay with it and pay attention to it more. But the moment you register that you have a weakness, there is a lacuna, there is a desire, there is something is there wrong in you, instantly the mind will project the opposite and get inspired by that. That is why a miserly fellow will get inspired when he looks at a philanthropic person. A greedy fellow will get inspired when he looks at a simple one. He says, oh my God, look at him, man. He just lives with 2 dhotis and 1 kurta. That's all. Nothing else. 2 dhotis, 2 kurtas. I don't know how they. Who says that? Who will get inspired by that? The fellow who can't even throw away the clothes which he has been using for the last 15 years. He's not using it. It's still there. I can't, to him, this looks so inspiring. To a violent mind, a non-violent things looks absolute ideal. Impossible to conceive. Who get inspired by that? Only a violent one will get inspired. A non-violent mind will never get inspired by non-violence. What's the big deal about it? Normal, no? What is great about it? It is normal. A human being is supposed to be non-violent. That's all. What is the big deal about it? It's like saying a cow is meek and mild. Obviously, a cow is supposed to be like that. A tiger is ferocious. Of course, tiger is supposed to be ferocious. That's it. He doesn't. It will not inspire at all. A tiger will never look at a cow and get inspired. Never happens. So the moment you recognize awareness, this is the danger of awareness. The moment your mind gets into that little awareness comes in, instantly it will project the opposite as a solution and get inspired by that and start focusing on that. In that focus, you completely ignore you go oblivious to the problem, and that is the best breeding ground for your desires to grow. That's how it grows. Therefore, what we'll say, okay, now I shifted there, that's where the problem is. Now I'm not going to shift to that. I'm going to keep on looking at the problem. Then what will happen? You become pessimistic. And that pessimistic person will appear like a spiritual person. That's the danger in spiritual. We are nobody, I am nothing, I am useless, and this, and that looks like humility. That is getting projected as this and all that. Again, error. That's why we say first become aware, but then don't keep on intensifying that awareness, because intensified awareness is going to give too much of confusion. There's so much of dirt in the room. You have to switch on the light to clean the room, isn't it? If you have to clean a room, first thing you do is what? Open the screen, switch on the light, isn't it? So that the light comes, so that you know where is the dirt. What you are saying is, what we should do, from 15 watts to 500 watts to 1000 watts to 10,000 watts to 50,000 watts. If I go on intensifying the light, the dirt will disappear. How will it disappear? To remove the dirt, what you have to do? If it is a crease, there is a different process. If there is just a dust, it's a different process. There is a stain, it's a different process. Each dirt to be recognized, and then a process needs to be done. So removal of that is different. Light is not going to remove the dirt. Your effort alone will remove the dirt. Either you do vacuuming. Now, if there is a crease, you can't say, I'm going to vacuum cleaner, I'm going to apply. The crease cannot be removed by vacuum cleaner. You have to use a different technique for that. Something else to be done for that. If there's a dust, then you have to do something else for that. Each one you do differently. That effort is different. Awareness will not help you. Right? Section 3. Chapter 16. Use and abuse of religion. Individual diagnosis and treatment. Yes. Can you read?
Page 259, Chapter 16, Use and Abuse of Religion. Individual diagnosis and treatment. The subject of religion has received a casual treatment the world over. Hardly anyone takes up religion seriously, except perhaps the professionals who make a living out of it, and they too have no clue of what it is. Humans can ill afford to do so. Religion is a technology dealing with the development of the individual, just as science is a technology dealing with the improvement of the world. Life is constituted of the individual and the world. Both of them need to be carefully developed, improved. If neglected, there can be no material or spiritual progress. Even the intelligentsia have no idea of the role of religion in human life. In the name of religion, some plunge into ritualistic practices without understanding what they represent. Others indulge in devotional prayer and worship, soliciting material gain or mental solace for themselves. Yet others pick up religious books indiscriminately and read them to satisfy their curiosity. Few approach it methodically as one would pursue science or technology, and the world remains deprived of value and worth of religion. Consequently, few can claim to have attained spiritual mastery. Medicine or engineering is a scientific course. To gain the knowledge of either, you need to go through a systematic process of study under proper guidance. You cannot become a surgeon or an engineer by merely reading medical or engineering books of your choice. The technical courses have laid down definite procedures to follow. You observe these disciplines as far as science technology is concerned. You would join a university. Follow the prescribed course step by step, year by year, under qualified masters until you complete it. But you do not care to treat religion the same way. You do not seem to appreciate that religion is a technology far more scientific than any other known in the world, that there is a greater system and more rigorous discipline associated with the spiritual courses. The procedures laid down in them are far more exacting. You will have to follow them meticulously, like the other sciences. Besides, you need guidance, supervision to enable you to adhere to the right channel for your spiritual evolution. Needless to mention, you must put in the all important effort on your part to observe these disciplines to gain spiritual evolution.
Individual diagnosis and treatment. Fortunately, he's coming to the same idea. I didn't realize. See, spiritual path or religion has got nothing to do with society, social, collective. There's no collective application. Religion has an individual application. It's purely personal. That's why the traditional temples and all, they had built a temple on the mountain top hill, and there's a single track trail they have. Why? Got to walk alone. It is one, that individual. So even though there can be about hundreds and thousands of people, still it is addressed to individuals only. It's not collective addressing. That's why he says, starts with that individual diagnosis and treatment. There's no social diagnosis and treatment. That's not the purview of religion. Religion doesn't, deal with that part. This is the first thing you pick up. The second one he gives here is the subject of religion has received a casual treatment in the world. No other subject has been treated with such casualty like that of religion. Time immemorial. People don't take it up in a serious manner. How serious the subject is, nobody understands. Everybody can become. It's like everybody can teach. What is a big deal in teaching Vedanta? You are speaking, I'm not speaking, sir. That's the only difference. There's no big difference. Everybody can give a lecture on this. This is what we all believe. See, all that you have to do is what? You just have to attend one class and then, okay, maybe about 4 or 5 classes or maybe 10 classes, or read about 3 or 4 books and then start giving discourses to people. The discourses could be to, one person or could be to 50 people, doesn't matter. And who is the first casualty is the children. You start giving a discourse on religion to kids when you have no clue on what religion is all about. See, no other subject we teach like that, isn't it? You don't teach mathematics like that. You don't teach physics like that. You don't teach chemistry, biology like that. Everybody doesn't teach biology. That is why you keep a tuition teacher, isn't it? Even though you can speak Hindi, but you keep a Hindi tuition teacher, no? To teach Hindi to the child. Why? Don't you know Hindi? Yeah, I know Hindi. I can speak Hindi. Yeah, you are speaking Hindi. Then why can't you teach Hindi to your child? The grammar and all that comes, not difficult. But whereas you give eloquently, you give lecture on God. That is what he means. He's saying the subject of religion has received a casual treatment. Everybody can teach. That's why if you tell, your spouse and your family members that you are attending Vedanta class, they'll be wondering, for this, why are you sitting a class? I know already, he says. You are learning only now, is it? My God. So, I know all that. He says, why? Because we don't have that problem at all. They're so casual about it. Why we are so casual about it is because we have not understood, we have not recognized the fact that if an individual were to grow, there is only one subject possible. No other subject can help you to evolve, grow, develop as a person. Nothing can help you. You cannot say, I'm going to attend a personality development course. It will not help. It will just make a cosmetic corrections in you. That's about it. That cosmetic corrections itself, you start believing you as growth, development. What to do? We don't even know what is the meaning of growth. Okay, human growth, human developed. It's a developed human. What is the meaning of that? Just think, we use these words, right? We say, yeah, it is developed. Not developed is what? See, physically we all understand. You have aged. That is automatic. Automatically certain things will start happening in you. In 20s, when you were in 15, 18, 19, when you are boarding the bus, where were you standing? Inside or in the steps? In the steps only, hanging there. The bus has to, remember, we had, competition among our friends. Who is the last one to board the bus? So you have to run along with the bus. 45, will you do that? Huh? You dare not. You don't. When you see somebody else doing that, you get a heart attack. Isn't it? And you think what? Okay, now I am settled, sir. Now I am developed. There are the. Now this is because of your age. You are scared. It's not settlement. You are scared to death. Therefore, you are not doing certain things. That doesn't mean you are developed, grown. What is that which defines a human development, growth? If there is a possibility of human growth, human development, there is only one subject on earth we have, that is religion. No other subject can help you. This we have not understood. Therefore, we give religion a casual treatment. Also there. What is to be done? See, you should be a good person, That's all. What's the meaning of good? That don't ask me. Definition of goodness is, look at me, I am a good person. That is what he is explaining here. Even the intelligent people have misunderstood this whole idea and missed the point. What is the point they have missed? They have missed an essential point about religion. What is it? Religion addresses individual. That's why Upanishads, all the scriptures you see, nothing was addressing to a congregation. You know that? Mahabharata, Ramayana also you take, was addressed to who? Ramayana was taught by Narada to Valmiki. That's all. And then he elaborated it. But first one was given to whom? One person only. Entire Bhagavatam was given to whom? Parikshit. Kenopanishad, spoken to a student. Kathopanishad, one student. Bhagavad Gita, one fellow. One Arjuna. Can you believe? Such a huge discourse addressed to one person. Everywhere it is just one individual. That is, who is that one individual? You. It never talks to anyone other than you. And we wanted to use religion only everything other than you. Whole focus is on that. That's why he says individual diagnosis and treatment. You got to diagnose the individual and treat the individual. What about society, sir? That's not our problem. There is no need. We don't talk about it at all. It's not that they're indifferent. That is a different subject. That needs to be studied by a different subject people, not religion. That's not the job of religion. Job of religion is to speak to one person. That is you. That is me. That's it. It's nothing to do with anything other than that. We don't care, as it were. But what is so interesting is what we call as society is nothing but what? You and me put together. If the bricks were to be strong, the wall that is made up of the bricks will also be what? Strong. If the bricks are weak, the wall would be weak. So don't worry about the wall. Concentrate on the bricks. Is what religion is all about. And what we do, sir, if I have a problem, immediately I say what? See, I'm having a problem, you know why? Because of this is not correct, that is not correct, this is not correct, that is not correct. Everything is wrong around me. Let me start correcting all that. In the process of correction, all that, once I achieve that complete correction everywhere, what will happen? My development will happen. He says that is not possible. So what you have to do? Individual diagnosis and treatment. So first, he explains where we are going wrong. What is a misunderstanding we have? Misunderstanding number one, it is not collective. Second one is we have not given it a proper importance. Number three, we have made a mess of the method in which we approach religion also. So one vast majority makes a first mistake. They think religion is social. So few people escape from that and they come in. Then they again take it so casual about it. We'll see that. Then you have, there are people who escape the second mistake also, but they get lost in the third one. What is the third problem, sir? Methodology they adopt. Because as far as we are concerned, religion is what? Rituals. Or emotionally, you just take up something. That frenzy over a deity. Or randomly taking up books and reading and trying to follow. Wrong methodology. So first, individual, not social. 2, not casual, it's a serious affair. You got to be serious about it. You can't have a casual approach towards it. 3, you got to go methodic. Systematically, you have to go. He's assuming that you have, those who have come to part C had crossed over the first 2 points. That's why he spends more time with the third point. He says, more elaboration is there with reference to the error at the methodology level. What is the methodology level? These are the 3 wrong things people do. They don't go through that systematic one. But whereas when it comes to learning science, you go through methodic. There's an orderliness. You go through that fashion. You study mathematics in an orderly fashion. What you study first standard, what you study second standard, what you study third standard, what you study fourth standard. There is a progression there. Undergraduation mathematics is different from post-graduation mathematics, is different from MS, etc. So it graduates. There is a proper course. You have to go through that course properly for you to get it. He gives an example of medicine. You have to have a 12th standard, and then you have to go through this first year of medical, then second year syllabus, third year syllabus, fourth year syllabus, and then fifth year you have to be a intern somewhere, and then only you become a qualified doctor. Till then you cannot. Now you call one medical student and ask him or ask her, what all you study? Tell me all the books. And read all the books and say, I'm also a doctor today. That's what we are doing now. Google. Anything and everything, you Google it. And then you say, you don't become a doctor like that. You can't become an engineer like that. You can't ask a civil engineer all the course material and read all the course material and you become a civil engineer. If you build a house, I will not enter there. I won't take the chance. Like that it is. So he says, go through this systematic one. That's what he says. Religion is far more exacting. Fantastic word. The precision that we have in science, he says, religion has far more exacting than that. There's a possibilities of things there. But here, absolution it is. So religion is also to be approached like that of science, meaning is a method. There's a proper methodology here. And no one pays attention to that methodology. Right? We'll see what is the methodology now. He is going to elaborate on what is the methodology of religion. And abuse of religion is what? Not doing that. Opposite of that is abuse of religion. Right? We'll see in the next class.